you could have had the ending, and I don't know how you incorporate it into the end of the seventh season, but I think the perfect ending for Dexter would have been him waking up, sitting on the electric chair, and you are seeing his life flash before his eyes before he dies. It fits with the inner dialogue he's had the whole time. You have this inner look into Dexter's thought process this whole time, and then you go back to realize the only thing he cared about is everything that you saw, and it's happening in the like he's reliving his life before he dies. It would have been so much better than him going off to be a lumberjack.
I like that. I also liked Tim's idea of Deb just should have shot him in the church.
Totally my idea. If you're a fan of the Nerdosphere and you listen to the cast, it wasn't Clayton's idea. It was my idea.
Yeah.
That Deb should have just turned. Deb should have just turned on Dexter in the shipping canister and popped him. And then it ends right there, and you don't deal with anything else.
Okay, so you had me lost there for a second because the only scene with the church that I thought of was the sixth season when she walks in. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, the shipping container makes sense. The church did not make sense.
Yes, it's the shipping container.
The shipping container makes sense.
Sitting there with LaGuerta, and LaGuerta's screaking at her to shoot Dexter.
Yep.
If only we knew what Clayton felt about this.
This was my idea.
We got him back.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been fantastic.
That's how the show should have ended.
Yeah. I think it could have ended.
Instead of killing LaGuerta, she should have killed Dexter. And then you could have had a follow-up episode basically condensing Deb's arc in season 8, like with all that turmoil from killing LaGuerta, into like a final episode where we catch up with what she's been dealing with, catch up with the police department, catch up with Harry.
I like to think that she's like, after she makes that decision, that LaGuerta propels her to be like this face of the department and this high-ranking official, and she's so torn up about the fame that she's gotten because the fame came from her killing her brother who she loved.
Yeah.
Just an incredibly interesting dynamic.
But I also don't mind the Jesse ending because it's almost like an artistic ending to the show.
Yeah, I like that ending.
The reason that ending made sense to me is because his number, you would look at it at the end of it being that his only regret in life was that he corrupted the one person that he cared about, which was Deb. Like, when it all breaks down to it, Deb was about the only person that he had any attachment to, realistically. I mean, he had momentary attachments to other characters, his kid, his wife, like all of that type of stuff. But Deb was the ultimate, like, he changed his process to try to protect Deb, and then by the end of it he corrupted her, and that would have been the last thing that he saw was, I tried to do all of this, I was unsuccessful. Like, so then you'd be left with this like conflicting thing, like, okay, they caught him.
Let me make this a little better. They're in the shipping container. LaGuerta's yelling, shoot him. Dex has given her that look, and she shoots herself instead. And then Dexter melts down, LaGuerta arrests him, and then you go to your ending where he's on the electric chair, and you realize like him witnessing his sister kill himself because she couldn't do either one. She was in the impossible situation, and he ultimately just lost his will to live.
Yeah.
And the final frame is the ghost of Harry just staring, going, fuck.
Oh, that's funny.